Hello everybody. Today I'm testing the Profinesse. This is a signal processing device similar to SmartCom. Unitron is the parent company, and nowhere on here do I see Johansson, so maybe they sold that name off or something along those lines. But let's go ahead and let's do the initialization. Okay, great. So now we have, we know it's set up for the US market because it really is a European device. And here is the other one I've got up on the mast. This is two 92XGs, the Goliath, they're calling it. That's the new device. That's the one of the first devices. Now they've modified this particular one. I'm told has some changes, so we're going to check those out. But anyways, this is the spectrogram from the two antennas combined with that Profinesse up on the mast, and we'll be doing another spectrogram. But one thing I want to point out, that this thing automatically programs itself. There's no I guess there's some ways to add some channels, but it's kind of convoluted. I have to learn that yet. But we're just going with the auto programming sequence. But here we're starting with channel 18. And this is just a UHF spectrum. These are UHF antennas, so we're not really worried about VHF at this point in time. Although there is a VHF input. I'm still learning this device, to be honest with you, and maybe this video is a little premature. This is more for the inside people who are interested in how it performs for me. But I figured I'd make a video anyways. And then another thing I'd like to point out, I'm only getting 18 through 35. And I'm really looking for 16, 17 that should be here and here, but the programming didn't pick it up. And then also here, I believe this starts kind of the Milwaukee spectrum right here. This is all Chicago: 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And then 27 starts the Milwaukee spectrum. That's just how the FCC did it. Don't ask me why they put them all in a row like that, but they did. 28 WISN, that's been a problem for a while, and I'm not sure. We'll be looking at some other stuff too. 28, 29, this is the Milwaukee spectrum. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and then 33, 34, 35 is all Chicago, but 36 is missing. And 36 should be there because some of my other antennas pick it up. But again, you know, we're just testing. So in addition to the spectrogram, I'll be looking at the H30 signals. And we're looking at a little bit of VHF right now. Before it was picking it up, I'm not sure why it wasn't. Remember, this is the previous edition of the Profinesse. 12 was coming in pretty clear before. I'm not sure why it doesn't pick it up now. But let's go on to the UHF channels. We're going to skip right through the channels that we wouldn't normally get. Okay, 16. We're not seeing anything because the Profinesse didn't see it, didn't pick it up. Okay, here we go with 18. Channel 18. 19. These are Chicago channels, by the way. 20 Chicago. We wait a few minutes for this MER to come in. I'm a little impatient right now because I think we're supposed to be getting some thunderstorms pretty soon. I want to get back up on the roof and switch these devices over. So Sorry if I'm skipping through this too fast. I did skip through that, 27. So this is our first Milwaukee Spectrum channel. That's not too shabby. That should come in pretty good. 28. This is one of the problem channels. You see the MER right there, 20.3, 20.5. That's probably what you would consider close to marginal. 29 should be about the same. The yellow there with the exclamation point, MER. 30. 30 is definitely a low power out of Milwaukee. Kind of what I would expect on a cloudy, foggy morning. 31. We're still in the Milwaukee Spectrum. 32. Okay, now we're going to go into Chicago. This I don't know, I skipped over 33 there. Sorry about that. Let's try to make this video a little more efficient. 33, 34, channel 34. Still Chicago, 35, WGBO. This is one of the powerhouses out of Chicago. You can pick it up 60, 70 miles away. And 36 will be non-existent. All right, I want to take a quick look at the spectrum. 16 and 17, as I said, the device didn't pick it up. Probably too weak this morning. The new device is supposed to have more sensitivity. Okay, 18. We're just kind of going to buzz right through the spectrum here. You can see the signals are pretty balanced. The stronger signals, which it can pick up, are pretty balanced. So we're just going to buzz right through. Okay, there's that lowly 28 out of Milwaukee. Again, looked like all the signals came down there for a second, and I've seen that phenomenon before. I'm not sure what causes it. Same thing with 29, and when we get back to 30, which is also a low power station, it's probably just about enough to watch, and that's it. 32. This is still a Milwaukee Spectrum. See, there's that whole spectrum dropping down. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't seem to affect the signal. 33, this is Chicago, back to Chicago. 33, that's WMAQ. 34, CPX, WCPX, 35, WGBO. And here's the interesting thing coming up. 36 is missing. But we do see some stuff here. And you know what I think that is? That is stray LTE. As we go further down the spectrum, 37, which is reserved for astro that's reserved for space astronomy. 38. Okay, now look at the LTE coming in here. This is telephone signals. Though apparently this doesn't have any protection down. Maybe it doesn't matter on this device, but this is all phone conversations going on. There's a guy talking to his grandma. Oh, there's a guy getting yelled at by his wife. You get the point. Okay, and then one of the other tools I'll be using to analyze this, this is the zapper box. And this signals directly from that Profinesse that's up on the garage roof. So what we're going to do, we're going to run up there. Going to take a screenshot of this. And we're going to run up there, switch the devices out, and then we're going to do another auto scan. Okay, I'm not going to be able to show the changeover because I need two hands to do this, but here is the device we just looked at. And here is the improved version. See, there's a little difference in the labeling here, as you can see. All right, one moment. Hey, this is interesting. While I was trying to get this in the case, because I didn't want to switch cases, the little tin cover came off. So here's a look at the electronics inside. So, all right, let me go back to putting this thing in. Okay, we got them changed over, and I'm going to go ahead and do a scan. Okay, we're going to do the auto scan here, and I'm going to try to do this without a screwdriver. Well, that's not where I want to be. It's kind of hard to do without a screwdriver. Okay, we're almost there. Okay. Oh, we're going to do the duplication thing also. I don't know if I got that right. Okay, only 23 channels detected, so something's probably not right. Well, I just ran the channel scan on the zapper box for this newer unit. It's up on the mast now. And unfortunately, I think we lost 28, which has been a problem. Not sure what's going on with that. I ran the scan twice. On one, it had found 23 channels. And the next one, the one before that, ran 22 channels. So, not sure, where we're going to, where the issue is yet. I am thinking about putting the preamps back up there, so I may do that. Okay, the spectrogram sweep just finished up. There it goes. It rendered, and yeah, you can see 28 is missing, along with 16, 17, and 36. There might be another channel. See, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. But the LTE has definitely changed. So what I think it did, I think the reason why this appears like this, and then here's 28, you see the similarity? What I think is it reassigned some duplicate stations, but I'll probably never be able to figure that out because they're too weak. So There's still some more testing to do. Okay, so we're going to go from the spectrogram to the H30 signal meter. Got a conversation going on about TV signal meters. That's what that was. Okay, 16, 17. They never got picked up in the scan, so can't expect to see much there. Okay, 18 Chicago. Nice strong signal. That's a lower powered station too, by the way. Channel 19 Chicago. Very good. 20. Not quite as strong as the other stations there. 21. Not bad. 22. Still in Chicago. Oh. We fell asleep, didn't we? Sorry about that. The phone fell asleep too early in the morning. 24, Chicago. Nice strong signal. 25, WTTW, Chicago. Nice strong signal. 26, Chicago. Okay, now we're going into the Milwaukee spectrum here with RF27. Okay, here's the critical one, 28. Never got picked up in the scan. Of course, we're not going to learn anything about this signal because it didn't get picked up. So, 29. Come on, let's wake up here. We can't have this happening. Okay, she shouldn't fall asleep now. Sorry about this. Not a professional video by any standard. 30. Low power out of Milwaukee. See that MER is way down. Still probably watchable though. So 31, same. Pretty good, but not as strong as some of the other stations. 32, Milwaukee. So 10 miles makes a big difference. And 33. This is Chicago now. 34, Chicago. And 35, WGBO. Okay, let's look at 36. Now you probably remember 36 kind of got picked up right next to 37, which I think is a reassignment of the channel, and also 39 and going out to spectrum 40. So I think it saw something, so it reassigned it, but there's nothing really there. 37, 38. Now we get 39 there. There's something there. We'll have to investigate that. I wonder what it put on 39. We're going to look at that. We're going to try to figure that out. And 41 also got something. So there's 39 and 41. We're going to look at that. We're going to try to figure out what that is. Look how strong that station is. It's amazing. Same thing with 43. This is pretty crazy. I can't wait to submit this video 44. Is there anything else? Unbelievable. 45. There's a function on the H30 where I can actually watch the channel, because I don't think I'll pick it up anywhere else. Every other station. 47. This is interesting. $49 again. What is going on here? $51. Every other station is showing some activity. I'm not quite sure what this is all about. I think, for a second there, 53 lit up. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause the video now and try to look at some of the channels that we see picked up here. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, so we're looking at RF39 here on the H30 screen, and CBS2, which would be RF12. Here's WGN. I'm not sure what we're looking at here. Barney Miller, of course. 39. Grit. So I think this is maybe this is a repeat of RF19. I'm not sure. This is so interesting. The Nest. I'll have to do some research. Okay, so let's see. Let's go on. I think 41 was the next one with the lock. So this is 40. Now we're going to go into 41. 41 WLS. Now I know for sure WLS doesn't have a 3.0 station channel. WXFT-DT. There's a clue. Sorry, I don't have much to say here because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Why are these channels getting reassigned up here in the LTE spectrum? I know that's designed to reassign channels up there in the LTE spectrum. But like I was saying, every other channel, okay, this is the U. I know where I'm going to submit this. There's a Chicago forum on AVS. It's a sub-forum on the AVS forum. And I could do my own research, and I think this is interesting. I'm going to make this into a YouTube video. They were breaking up a little bit there. Heroes. Story channel. So this is the channel lineup for this particular channel. Okay, we're gonna bounce up to the next locked channel, which is going into, I believe 45 was picking up. WFLD. This is so strange to me. Now, WFLD normally resides on RF24. Let's go back to WFLD for a minute. WPWR. This is just strange. So this is what I'm getting on RF45 right now. Okay, let's move on to the next locked channel. So it's repeating. This is 25. I'm starting to see a pattern here now. This should be RF25, and all these are definitely PBS stations. So now let's move on to, I think we're running out of received channels. Why it's repeating them, I don't know. Okay. NBC5, okay. Yeah, this is a repeat of RF33, I think. All right, let's get. Was there any more locked channels? Yes, 35, RF35. So they put RF35, repeated it right up here on 51. It's just bizarre to me. Yep. And it was every other channel when you get up into the LTE range. And so there's nothing here. Maybe 35 was the end of it. Okay. So I think I'll pause the video here. So what I did was I went back to RF35 to see if that's if all the stations are there. And this is what RF35 is broadcasting today. Let's go back to some of the other channels. 33, I believe. Yeah. So it's reassigning channels or duplicating them up in the higher channels, the old abandoned spectrum that's used by cell phones, LTE. Bizarre. All right, we'll take a look at this here. This is the last scan of the updated Profinesse, and I think what I want to do is put a couple of preamps up there and see what that does. Will it help? I don't know. Okay, well, I've installed 2 preamps. It'll probably be the last of my testing today. It's starting to rain pretty good, so let's do this. Let's do the channel scan. And here we go. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Like I said, it's raining pretty good right now. Got a little bit of water on the device here. "12 channels detected." Well, this round of testing has been really frustrating, and now it seems even worse. So I'm pretty sure I got everything hooked up right. Maybe we can do one more scan. So while we're waiting for the scan to finish up, I'll just show you what we're testing. This is the new Goliath 92XG. This one's aimed at Chicago. I'm trying to shoot the gap through the trees. If you go look over this way, the trees are more prevalent, but that's about the right angle, 168 degrees south. And then here's the other antenna, which is another 92XG, and that's headed at Milwaukee, which is about 358 degrees north. And let's see what happened with our scan. 13 channels detected. Well, let's see what happens, because that wasn't the case when we checked the H30. So let's see. Okay, well, I think I figured out the problem. And yes, I got none of the Milwaukee spectrum, and then one Chicago station's not coming in. But I think what it is, I'll go back up there and check it. Hopefully the rain stopped. I forgot to turn the power on to the preamps. I believe that's what this is. So we'll run back upstairs, back up on the garage roof. And first we'll look at the spectrogram. Okay, so spectrogram should be about ready. Okay, yeah, so that makes perfect sense. We'll have to go check that, of course. But it looks like input number 2 is dead. And input number 1, which here is the Chicago spectrum, that's 19 through 26, and 18 is now missing. So maybe the preamps weren't such a good choice. And here's that Milwaukee spectrum, and then back to Chicago. And then we lost 34 in Chicago. And then here's that weird reassignment of channels. I should have opened up the spectrum here in the spectrogram, but we got bigger issues. So let's figure that out. Okay, so I'm trying to get these signals figured out. I thought, okay, let me see if I have the input turned on now. I might have just turned that on, but look at this. Remove short circuit. Why? What's going on? Okay, so let's go on to input number 2. Okay, so the rain has stopped for a while. I'm trying to figure out this input thing. I'll tell you, I need an instructional video to see how this works, but look at here. In input 1, you have a choice of DC 12 volt. Now I can go down here and change it. Looks like you can actually, there you go, turn it off. So now I've turned it off. Let's see what happens when we hook up the cable. Okay, I'm not getting that short circuit message anymore. So maybe we'll leave that off. Okay. But let's go further. Let's go further. So now we're gonna, I found out the best way to make this thing work is if you don't like where you're at, just keep turning the knob to the left. Okay, now input number 2 does not work the same way that input number 1. So I'll hit the button and look, I get this. I know there's a science behind it. Europeans like to do things more complicated than they need to be. Sorry about that. But, you know, this whole thing here is confusing for me. But, you know, that's just weird. I don't know. Now I want to get back to where I was before, but now I'm stuck here. So leave it 17 at 17, and let's see. Okay, now okay. And like I said, we can go to we'll go to do the channel scan again. See what we get this time. So the scan is done, and once again, only 13 channels detected. What's going on here? I did put the preamps in, so maybe they're not passed through or something, but then why am I getting my Chicago stations except the weaker ones? So, and if I do try to add power to the preamps, I get that short circuit message. So I'm not quite sure what to do here from this point on except remove the preamps, which while it stopped raining right now, I'm going to take them back out. It's definitely been an education for me. Alright, so as you can see, I've removed the preamps and we're going to do another scan. Okay. I also want to turn off this duplication thing. Okay. And here we go. I'm getting better at this. I don't know how somebody's going to work with this thing if they don't have any experience. This is definitely only for the professional market. Of course, I think if you just pull it out of the box, only 18 channels detected. Well, what I was saying is if you just pull it out of the box and work with it like that, you probably have better luck than I'm having. So I'm not sure why we're only getting 18 channels. We had 32 before, but I'll check my connections and we'll go back down into the dungeon and see. Well, I checked all my connections. Everything seems pretty good. Yeah, there's water on the antenna. It's been raining, but I don't think that's going to affect it too much. Okay, still 18 channels detected, so we'll go, like I said, we'll go back down in the dungeon, see what happened. Let's put this cover back on in case it rains some more. Okay, cover's back on. Bring the preamps inside. Okay, so here were the test results with the preamps. Didn't work out. Maybe I was doing something wrong, but we're going to go ahead and redo the channel scan.
Now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Okay, while we're waiting for that, we'll redo the spectrogram also. Okay, here was a previous spectrogram with the preamps and the newer model Finesse, Profinesse. Okay, I didn't pause it at the right time. We have our spectrum back though, so that's a good thing. And I'm wondering, we've got 18 is back now. So let's go over this. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 is back. And look at the spectrum, looks much more even. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And it pretty well coincides with what I'm seeing on the Zapperbox channel scan. So I'm not quite sure. I'm going to go through this with the guys who sent this to me, and we're going to try to figure out what all these settings are all about. And I'm sure I'm fumbling it, but it seems to be unreasonably complicated. Well, I think I've done a lot of testing here today. Until I find out more on how this device works, we're going to switch it out. And the reason for that is, I know I made a lot of comments about Europeans making things too complicated, but I'm in the automotive industry and I see it all the time on Audis, BMWs, Mercedes, things like that. They can take a simple PCB system and make it into a $400 or $500 component. It's just ridiculous. But the purpose of this video is not to rip on Europeans or their designs. Just that I find this device to be overly complicated and over-engineered. And here's another device made by Europeans. We're going to try this out and see how it works. The trials and tribulations with this thing, I'm still missing RF36 and 16 and 17. And of course VHF doesn't show up at all. So we're going to change this out. Okay, we've got it hooked up, but we're not going to scan right now because we need to put the PSU in. So let's get this cover on before the rain hits again. Alright, so we're going to take out the Johansson device here. This is the just the PSU. I'm not sure what goes on in there, but I think it's just a power supply. However, we're going to replace it with the SmartCom PSU. Then we're going to do some scans. Alright, so we've got the PSU installed now. Here's one thing about this SmartCom PSU. I don't understand the label here, TV. You would think that's the signal to your TV, but it's not. It should be, I'm of the opinion it should say antenna. And then out makes sense because that's what the signal going out to your TV. So I would label that TV or out like it is, but I would at least change this labeling to input. I don't know how many times I've looked at that labeling and thought, why did they do that? So here, this is the auto scan. You hold the button in for 5 seconds and it should start doing the scan. Okay, we're going to start the scan over. This is with the SmartCom. This is an earlier generation. And of course, we're not going to pick up anything in VHF low because the two antennas, the 92XGs, Goliaths, are not made for VHF. Certainly not VHF low. But again, the auto scan has been performed. And we'll just give it a minute. Okay, so the SmartCom channel scan is in. We did pick up a couple channels here. Well, we picked up 12. The VHF high station, the Lighthouse in Chicago. And yeah, RF36 is missing, so we're going to take a look at the channel map and see what we can do about that. And here comes the spectrum, and of course this is SmartCom. Let's count them out. This is probably 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 is showing as a channel, but I'm not sure why we're not showing it up in the channel scan. Okay, I wrongly said 36 was there. It was not. I should have looked a little closer. The spectrum, the usable channels stop at 602 megahertz, so my mistake. But we've got a good looking spectrum here and a good channel count. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect up with the SmartCom. We're going to go with this device here. This is the older generation, but it's still a very good unit. So we're going to download, see what it's got in there. Okay, I see. So what we can do here, we can modify our channels. I'm going to add some channels on for my Milwaukee spectrum. For example, I'm just going to try 8 because I remember it did pick up 8 before, and we'll see what's happening with 16 and 17 low powers. Okay, so we're going to say that's okay. Then we're going to go to the Chicago antenna, and I'm going to try to get 10, 7, and we're going to try to add on 36. Okay, so we got that. So now we're going to send it up. Going to send it up to the mast unit, and then we're going to adjust it. The adjustment's going up to the mast unit. All right, now we're going to do a channel scan. Remember, this is what we had with the auto scan. Let's see what else we can get. Okay, so we've started the channel scan, and then we're going to do the same with the spectrogram. So hang in there. Yeah, I figured I'll take a second out and watch the scan come in. Yeah, it actually picked up 8. We're going to see if that's watchable. And 17 looks pretty weak. 16 for sure, that's not going to be coming in. But 16 looks like there's a chance of having it watchable. So far, everything else is going well. Okay, so the scan is finishing up here. I'm absolutely sure 35 will pick up plenty of channels, and 36, look at that. So 142 channels, and in the beginning I forgot what we had, 108. So I think that's going to conclude my testing for the day. I have to say, in this instance, SmartCom wins. I'm pretty happy with that, and then we're just waiting for the spectrogram to come in. Okay, so spectrogram pretty well done, and there you go. So now we have, I believe this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and then there's 36. Let's see if we can watch some of these channels. Okay, so we're looking at RF8, which is 10.2, the PBS station out of Milwaukee, and it's definitely watchable. Definitely. And this is coming off of a UHF antenna.
I've never seen Venice from a kayak.
We'll give it a few seconds, give it a chance to pixelate. Signal to noise ratio is right there on the edge. Right on the edge.
Authentic experience.
Alright, we're going to switch channels.
And everything happens by water.
Yes.
We're going to go 41.
Everything has been happened by water. Even the transport of the goods. The ambulance is by boat. Fire department is by boat. The policeman.
Okay, this is RF17.
Come on, help me in the kitchen, honey.
How about that? I love Lucy. So this is definitely watchable too. I mean, the signal noise ratio, it's right there on the edge. But I think you could watch it for a while if you needed to. Definitely watchable.
So we just have to get used to it.
I know.
And then here's the other station I was wondering about, RF36, 22.1. And yeah, we got a good solid signal. So
Doctora, hace 2 meses salimos del trabajo.
this channel, this could be, I don't know, this is the same RF channel, but there could be something going on with that. 22.1, 20. Let's try another channel on that same frequency. Not sure what's going on there because I am getting, some channels here.
What do you think, kids? Does this look like a good spot?
Well, I don't see a village around here. Me neither.
I guess that